Hello, and thanks for checking out my campaign. My name is Nicole, and I need a lot of help. See, I'm graduating from San Diego State University in less than a month. I'm the first in my entire extended family to graduate from college, and I'm so excited. I've worked my butt off to graduate in 4 years because that's as long as my scholarship lasts. And honestly, my scholarship is the only reason I didn't go to a community college. I've had 2 jobs over these past 4 years, and the total hours working between them has been over 40, including my 15 to 20 units of class every semester, and it's just been really hard for me. These jobs that I've had have helped pay for my wedding to my wonderful husband, and as well as paying our bills, our rent, and paying off my husband's student loans. Between my husband's 2 jobs as well, we were doing okay, but then honestly, some poor decisions were made with his job, and now we don't have enough money to even really feed ourselves, and we were forced to move back in with my parents. He's now working less than minimum wage for his grandparents, and he can't find work anywhere else. We're still in this situation today. However, there is hope on the horizon. I just got hired by Kokojuku, which is an English school in Japan. It's really been my life's dream to go there and teach. I've known since I was a little girl that I've always wanted to become a teacher, and it wasn't until college really when I took my first Japanese class, just kind of on a whim. I thought, I've always thought Japan was kind of cool, and I completely fell in love with the language and the culture. I switched my major from biology to Japanese, and I really haven't looked back ever since, and I haven't ever regretted it. It's really just hard to believe that paperwork is already in the process, to make my dream finally come true and to become a teacher over there. Everything is set and final, and I have my job and everything, except the only problem is I need money to go over there. I recently found out that it's very expensive to move to Japan, and right now, my husband and I are really just barely clinging on. My parents, pay for our food, they pay for our clothes, just because we literally can't afford it with all our money going to car payment, paying off his school loans, and just bills and stuff like that. First of all, as a condition of my employment, I need to get my TEFL certificate, and that's Teaching English as a Foreign Language, and that alone costs $2,750, which is a lot, and not to mention I have to buy plane tickets for my husband and I to fly over, which can be very expensive. They're usually at least $600 each. Thirdly, I need money just to secure an apartment. I need $600 for a deposit, and I need the first 2 months' rent. The last thing what I'll need is, once I get there, I won't be getting my first paycheck until about a month and a half after I arrive. So I need money just for, food and, stuff like that, getting a cell phone, all that kind of good stuff. And I have no idea how much that's going to cost, but, yeah, it's going to be crazy. But you may ask, with all these expenses, with the plane tickets and my certificate and, month and a half worth of living money, is it really worth it to move to Japan and to start this career? And my answer is yes, absolutely, 100%. Despite the heavy expenses at the beginning, once I actually am getting steady paychecks, I'll be making more with just this one job that my husband and I have ever made together, and that's with us both having either 2 or 3 jobs. I mean, that's crazy. And, if my husband manages to find a job while we're out there, then, that's even better. For the first time in what feels like forever, we'll finally be able to support ourselves, and that will just feel so amazing. I really hate relying on other people. It's kind of hard for me to even make this campaign, actually, because I just really hate asking people for money, especially. And here I am, bumming off my parents when I'm married, and, it's just really hard for me. And that's why I really want to kickstart my career and finally be able to just live independently. Another thing is my husband and I will be able to live with each other just by ourselves, as a couple for the first time since we've ever been together. I mean, we've been married for over 2 years now, and we have never been in a house that wasn't my parents or wasn't shared with 4 other college-age students. I mean, it's really hard for us to get, alone time, just as a husband and wife, and it's really difficult for us sometimes. Another really important reason will be that we will be making enough money to finally start saving for a house when we do eventually move back to America, which will probably be after 3 years or so. And, it's just, the American dream, you want to buy a house, you want to, start a family, and that actually leads me to, I think, the most important part of this thing. And, it's really important that this will be, fulfilling my dream that, I've wanted for so long. But honestly, what's most important to me is my husband and I have really been wanting to start a family. And just because of financial situations, like not being able to feed or clothe ourselves, obviously it's not a good decision to have a baby when, you won't be able to feed it, And another thing, when we did have money to have a baby, we were living in an apartment with 4 other college students, and that's obviously no place to be raising a baby, And so it's just something we really wanted for a really long time. We're both huge family people. We both want really big families, and we really want to get started on having a family and having this job and having this financial security for the first time in a really long time, and being able to live by ourselves and being able to save for a house. It's just really the perfect opportunity to get this family started. And that's honestly even more than my dream. That's what's most important. We really want to have some kids, If I don't get all the money I need, the first portion of it will go to getting my TEFL certificate, because that's really an important step if I want to get an English teaching job anywhere. My next step, I guess, if I don't get enough, is I'll have to take out some loans. I mean, hopefully if I qualify. I really don't want to take out loans because we are still paying off a lot of my husband's school debt, which is it's at least $30,000. And, I don't really want more loans to be having to pay off every month. But if that's what it's going to take, that's kind of what I have to do. Now you may be asking how helping me will help society and help the world. And I'll tell you that if I go to Japan to teach, I can be sort of this, American ambassador to those that I'm teaching. I'll be able to teach the people of Japan more about American culture, and at the same time, I will be learning myself more about Japanese culture. And it's just simple things like this, these simple cultural exchanges that I will be engaging in every day that really lead to a more globally, peaceful place. It leads to more global harmony as people, gain experience with people of other cultures. It really opens their eyes, and they're able to really, understand, not maybe completely understand, but understand more, about other people and other cultures. And it just really creates, these emotional ties to people of other cultures, and it helps them understand, that every person is indeed a person. And it just really helps, I think, that cultural exchanges like this, just even between teacher and student, just really can lead to a more globally harmonistic place. And if you don't have the means to help me out financially, then, I totally understand, obviously, and in my own situation, I know that I wouldn't have any money to help me if I were watching this video. But, you can just do other really amazing things for me. You can post this on your Facebook, on your Twitter, on your blog. You can use the tools at indiegogo.com to share things, and just getting the word out and spreading. You may find, someone may see this on a blog and they may go, oh, I was in that situation too, and, I had someone help me out, and that was really great, and, I want to help this person out in this way. Or even maybe, I was in that situation and I didn't have help and I really wish I did, and so now I'm going to donate, and that kind of thing. And so just spreading the word just as much as you can will really help me, and I really appreciate you for watching this really long video. And if you read the text and reading that really long text, I really wrote way more than I thought I would, and I just thank you so much for just being here with me and hearing my story.